Have you ever thought about using trading bots? I used Bitsgap in the last bull market and turned $1,000 into $50,000 within a 5-month period. I documented the whole process and put it in a playlist if you want to see that, along with other training videos and tutorials how to set bots up and make the most of the volatility of the crypto market. If you sign up with a link in the description, you'll get a 7 days free trial with no obligation to continue, and you can also use a demo account within Bitsgap so you don't have to risk your own capital. Bitsgap. Hello everybody, good morning. Let's have a look at the charts, which at the moment are a little bit red. They're a little bit red. It's not the end of the world right now on crypto, I can tell you. It's definitely not that bad. Getting the support here in the 4 hourly for Bitcoin, 4 hourly centre of that Bollinger Band. And again, sort of basically bouncing from the Bollinger Band a few days ago. 7 simple, 10 exponential, still above those. The problem is that 1, 2, 3, and 4 now attempts to try to get a candle to close above the major support, which is just below 38,000, has failed to happen. So the selling pressure is still there, but the momentum is still pushing to the up. It might take a little bit of time. Maybe, well, I mean, it could happen today. It's kind of unlikely. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but Thursdays are usually pretty lame for for crypto. But also, the Dixie is now bouncing, and it's not the Dixie really. It's euro dollar. So euro dollar is now really sort of having a big bold move down almost 0.5% basically. So it's looking pretty weak, I have to say. It's a big move that there. Now obviously there's usually some insider information, I would imagine, on these corrupt scenarios. We've got inflation year on year, so I reckon there's some form of poor CPI data going to come through for Europe, especially after they've said we're not going to raise rates anymore. Well, I think it's okay. I think we've reached the peak of. You tell that to your currency. It doesn't look particularly good, just based on this 4 hourly. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, I have to say, but yeah, that's a big move so far from the top to the bottom from this peak. That's a bold move, close to 1% really, 0.88%. So fair play to you there, and the repercussions may be felt a little further on down the line. If we hold this 10 exponential, then fine. We did have and do have the pump signal, in fact, and we do have a golden cross on exponentials for what it's worth. It's not worth a great deal, to be fair, on this forex pair. So with that in mind, let's move over to Total 2. Total 2 down now below the Bollinger Band, pushing down towards a 21 exponential. It might mean something, it might not. This is a daily. The daily is still quite strong, I have to say, but it's similar to Bitcoin, pushing that resistance until the resistance breaks. The alt season 2.0 is on hold. Right, so let's get back to it then, shall we? So basically Bitcoin, as said, not too bad as far as a position is concerned. It just wants to break that area. It has to break that area, really, for further upside, and that would only take us, in my opinion, between $42,000 and $43,000 initially. Doesn't look like it wants to happen today, especially with the euro behaving the way it is and the Dixie behaving the way it is. You know my thoughts on Bitcoin on the long term, which is that we are particularly overheated here on the money flow index, and this is a concern, sitting around 91.5 on the MFI, so there's not much more to be said about that. Ethereum, what are you up to? Let's have a look at you. So we'll start with the 4 hourly. So the 4 hourly is pushing down now, rejection on the 21 and on the 10 now. So with a view to move down below 2,000, 1,950 we'll call it. We'll see what kind of reaction we have around there. Usually you'd get a good reaction after the first golden cross, so this would be the first one. We've not retested the 200. If we do come down there, that would be a buy, and 1,956. So it's not that bad on the 4 hourly, I have to say. It's actually brewing a setup. 1,900. Well, I mean, there's nothing on the daily to give us that kind of area. There's a few wicks down there, I have to say, are a little lower. So that kind of area based on the 4 hourly is what we'd be looking for. You lose that, then the next one would be 1,909, and then all the way down here at basically just below 1,800. So yeah, fair play to it. It's still in a consolidation mode, and it's going to likely take most altcoins with it. Today doesn't look particularly attractive at the moment, I have to say, but as far as the structure on Bitcoin is concerned, it's still okay, but 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks now, taking us back down below the support. It's not a good look. This is why we want to get bullish. We're skeptical on the weekly, definitely, but we want to break bullish. The more times you push a resistance, the more likely it is to break, and that is true. But now we can consider the support as breaking, so it's not 50-50. It's still in line with more bullish scenarios. This is just an example of not a formation. I'm not drawing a formation here. I'm just showing you that's the 21 exponential. It's going to take us at this rate towards the 8th of December to get out of that. 20 moving average, basically the same. So we might be stuck here for a week. To be honest, we might be stuck in this kind of range for a week, up in and down in and zigging and zagging all over the place. Not really, for me, a trading setup to try and take advantage of. Still stand by what I say, which is to watch and wait, really, because if we do start to break out, then we will have another alt season that we can take advantage of. But trying to get too clever while pushing a resistance is probably not a clever idea, unless you don't mind holding a position through thick and thin, for better for worse, for an 18-month period or more. That's fine. That's up to you. The risk to reward on the highest term timeframes is still obviously quite good, but I don't fancy any new positions around here, to be honest with you. I don't see the attraction, especially today. The only thing I'd be looking for, if anything at all, would be a much further breakdown on Bitcoin, maybe to 35,800. That would be okay. Ethereum again, 1,950. That would be okay. But I think it's a watch and wait kind of day, to be fair. And we can reassess the scenario. Let's just say by today's close, really, or later on, a lot further on down the line into the American Open, and see what happens towards the end of that trading day. I don't really like it right now. I don't like the way that it's getting rejected and keeps attempting to break and then close below that 38,000, or we'll call it 37,800, which is basically what it is. So that's basically all there is to say. There's no point in me beating around the bush and trying to spin this in a bullish light at this very moment in time. It is technically okay as far as its structure is concerned, but the supports do exist a little deeper down the line. And even though we're pushing that 4-hourly Bollinger Band now, which can support and can hold, the next one is just about 4 to 5% lower than where we are right now before a major potential turnaround point on Bitcoin. And again, look, bullish in structure, definitely. Bullish in structure. And so that is bullish. And again, the more times you hit the resistance, the more likely it is to break. That is true. But to take a trade here and now, not for me, because just to put it out there, if we break this area on Bitcoin, if we break that area on Ethereum and the total market cap too, then we will enter into a new trading environment of turbo bullish mode, and we can start to make some more trades again with more or less instant gratification on them. At the moment, I don't want to make a trade at a resistance. It kind of goes against everything in my soul to do that. So for that, it is basically just chill out. And again, watch the euro, see how deep that goes. Watch the Dixie, see how high that goes. And then see how stocks perform as a result of all of this. Because I'm still undecided about the future on stocks. It's quite high as far as it's gone from quite low to quite high. We recognise that the money flow index on the daily is quite high, suggests potentially a consolidation in the short term. I would be looking for a sell-off on stocks, to be honest with you, just like I am on Bitcoin. A little bit further down the line. I don't think it's quite ready for it now, but yeah, I think it is coming. I think it is coming. Whether we hit a new all-time high on S&P or we get close to the previous, for me, it's not really a stock. I wouldn't want to buy a stock now. I'll be looking to sell some stocks. In fact, I did sell quite a few yesterday. Not to panic or anything like that. It's just I did just sold quite a sizable chunk, probably about 20% of my long-term portfolio, which was largely put in around here. So anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.